Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd day of January, 2025. Um, yeah, there's a bunch of things I want to go over today, but again, to start out with, I just got to show you, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go here to tvtrades.com. Go to tvtrades.com. And right here, you can sign up. Click on any one of these orange links right here, and you can sign up for the free trial. If you click on that, it's going to bring you down to the bottom of the page. It is only 25 bucks a week, or 90 bucks a month, or 9.97 a year. This is 10% less than that. This is 23% less than that. So, whatever you want to do. You know, some of you guys have known me for a long time, and you just go right for the annual. Some of you guys start out with the weekly, then you go to the monthly, then you go to the annual. Whatever you want to do. You can switch from one to the other, back and forth. It's up to you. Alright? But that's what it costs. And go to tvtrades.com trial. Now, to be able to use the charts, if you want to use charts, you know, up here at the top it says you don't have to use charts. That's because we have this thing right here. This is called tvtrades.com/trade table, and in here it just sends signals out all day long. I have this macro that goes through and keeps it so there's only 100 rows per page, but I hadn't run it in like a week and a half, and so I had like 900 signals on each page. You can see it goes out to 82 pages right here on that one, so there's still a whole bunch of signals on there. But it puts the top ones, the most recent ones, at the top, and you know, we'll go through a couple of these later and look at some things with options and whatnot. But this is the trade table page that the password is for. Now, right now, the password wasn't working. I got to get a new password thing for it, because the password works for some of you guys and doesn't work for some of you guys, so it's inconsistent. But if you have the password, you can go to that page. All right, the password is also for the indicators, but I guess what I wanted to show you was, if you're gonna, you're also gonna need to make sure you have charts. All right, if you don't have charts, you can take the signals directly from that page. If you do have charts, or if you want to have charts, go here to targetviewtrades.com, click on getting charts right here, and it's just going to bring you to this page right here. Click the monthly, and if you only want to have 2 charts, the essential is going to work. If you want to have the plus with 4 charts, then go for that. It's only 30 bucks. You do have to get real-time data. The real-time data is $7 a month. All right, I'll show you how to get real-time data really fast. To get real-time data, all you have to do is go here like this. Go to TV Trades, go to Accounts and Billing. Once you have your ID, go there to Accounts and Billing. Sometimes you'll have something here that says get data, get real-time data, something like this. It says get real-time data. This is what you need to get for futures right there, okay? That's what you need for your futures. If you're just trading equities, stocks, ETFs, you don't really need to pay for anything extra. But if you're trading futures, you need to get this right here, $7 a month, okay? All right, now let's go see if it'll go back to where we were. It did. That's good. All right, so use 7 range broads for the S&P 50 range broads for the NQ, Gary. What should we use for the YM, the CL, and the GC? The YM, I would use a 19 or a 20 range. The CL, I would use a 9 range. And the GC, I do use a 9 range. Okay. And the risk management for that, let me see, I'm pretty sure I have a screenshot of the risk management here somewhere. Here it is, right here. The risk management for those different levels is right here, okay? 9 range has a 15 tick stop, goes to break even after 5 ticks in profit with a 30 tick target. That goes for the crude and the gold. The 19 or 20 range for the YM or the Russell. 25 tick stop, goes to break even after 10 ticks in profit with a 45 tick target. The NQ of 50, I use a 60 tick stop after 20 ticks in profit with a 75 tick target. Alright, today I dropped down because we didn't have a lot of follow through. Today I dropped back down to a 31 range. Today, after a little while, I dropped down to the 31 range with a 36 tick stop. Goes to break even after 4 points in profit or 16 ticks with a 48 tick target. Now, today was a tough day trading. We still did okay, but it wasn't our greatest day at all. It was our, well, I'll show you. But that's what I would do for that. Alright, so let me show you a couple things. This thing over here that I just created the other day, a new feature. Um, yeah, I'm noticing now that it's on top. But what this does, you know, with this is a 1 minute bar. So with the 1 minute bar, they update intra bar like this, so you can see it's going up and down, up and down, and that's when I have it based on the close of the bar. Let me just show you in here. If I go in here and I do, it's based on the close, but if I do it on the open, then it's going to stick it in one place. Now at the open of the bar, the open of the well, it will stick it. It will stick it in one place at the open of the bar. There it goes. It finally put it up there at the open of the bar. Okay, it's going to stick it at the open of the bar and just hold it there. Now, that's important if you're trying to buy the open of the next bar, right? When you're taking this trade right here, if you're trying to buy the open of the next bar, then you get it right there and it's stuck there and you know that. All right. If you're going to try to sell the close of the bar, then you need it to be on the close instead of the open. Don't do both of them at the same time because it's going to make a big mess. Once it registers it, it's trying to do both at the same time. It's going to make a big mess. But let me just say, don't do them both at the same time. Now, this is for a 1 minute bar, all right? When you go to a range bar, see how this updates intra bar? You see how there's color behind it and it keeps moving up and down because this bar is moving up and down? You go to a range bar in TradingView in their infinite wisdom, made the range bars not intra-bar update, all right? So once it's on there, it's stuck. So the open, if you have it set to the open of a range bar, that's not really that helpful. With a range bar, you're going to have it set to the close, and the close is actually pretty close to the open of the next bar. So if you're looking to buy the open of the next bar, then it's going to be pretty close to the close usually. So you have a pretty good idea where it is, and it helps you align your eyes and all that. If you're trying to sell when you get the close of the bar, you can see exactly where the close is because it's going to leave that right there for you. Now you don't have to actually show the value. You can just have it show the line. If you want like that, you can just have it show the line so you don't have the value there in your way. I thought that was a pretty cool little feature I thought of the other night, and it's out there for you guys. It's in the TV trades, just regular TV trades, and the TV trades range sniper. I put it in both of those for you. Okay, so if you want to use that, you can. All right, now let me bring something up here. I had it open here a second ago. Here it is. This one. Hey, look. That's one thing. Simple setups, excellent results. That's one thing. That's not what I meant to show you, though. What I meant to show you. I know I just had it up. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to move that over here, out of the way. I believe this is it. Yeah, this one. Right here. Okay. Now, some of you guys have seen this out on YouTube or in an email or something like that. I mean, these are real results. This is stuff that I'm doing in front of you guys, some of you guys, a lot of you guys, in the morning session. I think that was yesterday. 31 trades, 26 wins. I think that was yesterday. Today it was not. Today we had a much slower day today. We had 39 trades, but it was a much slower day today. A whole bunch of break-even trades. But that's real stuff. And it's using basically the same thing. It doesn't look like this in the morning, but it's using divergence in the morning. The same stuff. All right. I just wanted to let you guys know that is stuff. There was somebody that said on YouTube, I wish we could see you do this. And I said, you can see me do it. I do it every day. If you guys want to see me do it, you can. You have to take a trial at the other one, though. And a lot of you guys are already members at the other one also. But that's it, mytradingiq.com if you wanted to. But that's a lot more expensive. This is easy. That involves a minimum of 3 months of training. This involves a minimum of 10 minutes of watching a video. Anyway, what I wanted to get into in here today was the simplest trade setup. It seems the feedback that I'm getting from you guys, the simplest trade setup is if you just go with the colors and you go and it's coming out of the overbought or oversold with the right color. All right, you can add the divergence into that if you want to, but you don't really need to. And the beauty of this is if you're in a trend, when you're in a trend and it gets flat like that, that's when you usually stop out when it gets flat like that. That indicates that you're in a trend. If you happen to be in a trend, you can change your entry technique to be from when it goes into the overbought to when it comes out of the when it goes into the overbought to when it comes out of the overbought. Now, if you were going to be selling it right here, you could sell it when it comes out here instead. Or like this one would be better because it's got a red background. Instead of selling it here when it goes into the overbought, selling the open of the next bar, you could sell it right here when it comes out of the overbought, if you happen to be in a trend. All right, it's just something you can think of. You don't really have to. You don't have to change anything. I mean, the idea here is not to trade all day, not to trade 1,000 times a day. It's just to get in there, make some money, and get out. Okay, but if you want to keep trading, you can. Just keep in mind every time you place a trade, you put money at risk. All right. Now, I always feel like I'm in a big rush, but I'm not. So, let's just go over the trade setup slowly, okay? And then, wait, Jimmy, it's 3:12. I'll go over the trade setup slowly, and then Jimmy wants me to actually put a trade on so he can watch how I do it with my Dom. Okay, so I will do that too in a few minutes. We'll put a live trade on in a few minutes. Well, let me just put this over here and we'll see. We got a live trade right now. What is this? The ES. Let me bring up the ES Dom. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. ES. Where is it? Here it is. Hang on, hang on. I gotta move it. I got stuff all in the way. Okay. Here's the ES Dom. Now right here, see Jimmy? This is the entry point right here. That's the entry point. Now it's already gone 4 ticks into profit, so we've already missed the opportunity with this one. And it's worth explaining that too. If we go back to the risk management sheet that I had, wherever that was, here it is right here. See, this is worth explaining. It's a 7-tick range bar that we're on, right? 10-tick stop goes to break even after 4 ticks in profit with a 30-tick target. Now, if the entry point was right here and it's already gone 4 ticks into profit, it's too late for you to try to get into it. All right, and it has done that. The entry point was right here at 30.75 and it ran up to 31.50. Hey, it's only 3 ticks into profit. I thought it was 4 ticks. 30.75 to 31.50. I could still get into it right now. It hasn't gone 4 ticks into profit, so I can still get into it. All right, so let me show you something else, Jimmy. This is probably what I sort of described this to you yesterday. If you just, the way I have my DOM set up, I can just click right here and it's going to put me in at the current bid. You see? Put me in right there at the current bid. So this is still a valid trade right here because it hasn't gone 4 ticks into profit. So I can still take this trade and it's still down here in the oversold. So that's exactly what we want, right? And this is also what I was talking about, Jimmy, yesterday when we were in that meeting, about how oftentimes it's going down when you're entering to go long. So I'm going to bump my stop to break even right now because we just got to 4 ticks in profit, following the rules that I just gave you. Now right here is a great number for that to run up to. All right there is a great number for that to run up to. I'm just going to lock in a couple of ticks. That's $250 for me right there. But right there is what I'm looking for it to get up to because the DOM is suggesting it's going to get up there. Okay. For those of you guys who don't know, the bigger number in the DOM like that, if it's bigger down here, look for the anomaly up there, and that's where price wants to go to. All right. Some people call that a wall. I call that a target, an opportunity. It's going to go to it and through it probably. I might not do it all at once, but that's what it's looking for. All right. If I were to highlight that number right now, what is it? 133. 133 right there. Okay, let's slide it over this way some. Slide it over that way some. It may not go there directly right now, but that's where it's headed. And right now you can see, let me show you another thing. I know I didn't really mean this to be a training class so much, but it can be, I guess. The way that the markets work, this is the leg up, right? That's the leg up. This is a retracement that leg up. It's about a 50% retracement, which is what you would expect. And after you get that leg up, the next leg up should be about the same size like that. All right, that's probably what it's trying to do. Now 33 doesn't even bring you up here to the prior swing high. Okay, so we just got a couple of ticks, but 33 doesn't even bring up here to the prior swing high. That's what I would expect it's going to do, a minimum get up to the prior swing high. Once it breaks through that, the markets are always doing the same thing. Let me cancel that order before I forget about it. But did you see that, Jimmy? How I did that? But the markets are always doing the same thing, right? They're always doing the same thing. They're going up like this, and then down like this, and then up like this. All right, and how far up did I say that was going to go? Right about there, right? Right about there is where I think it's going to go. Now, it's got to get through this level first, and once it does get through that level, it may go up and then pull back again and then make that leg up. That's probably what it'll do. It's something like this, like it did over here, this action right here. Okay, where it went up, it came down, then it went up, and right here it came down. It didn't continue to move up. It retraced. Actually retraced, went up and down, and then right here, it failed to go down anymore. What the heck is going on with my mouse? There was a blank spot on my desk. It failed to go down anymore, and then it tried to reverse it, and then it whipped around a little bit, and so now it started the trend back up. That's what it should do right there, I would think. That's what it should do right there. Alright, let me erase all that stuff. And get back to this. Okay. So that's what I was talking about yesterday, Jimmy, when I wasn't just to you yesterday, it was to all the people that were watching. Well, in our meeting, of course, that was just you, but when things are moving really fast, the way it should work in your DOM, this DOM is going to be decommissioned in 2 weeks, but my backup, my next DOM, is going to be this DOM right here, which is Sierra chart, Sierra DOM. All right, I have the mouse and everything. I have all the buttons programmed to be exactly the same. So a right click here is going to put a buy stop limit on, or right click there is going to put a buy stop limit on. Sell stop, limit, all the same things. If I right click on this, oops, I didn't mean to do that. If I right click on that, I can hit cancel all like that. But you see all the buttons that I have on this DOM, I have here just by right clicking on it. I can go and do all those same things. For any of you guys that are using DT Pro or Gain or Canon Capital or Stage 5 or any of those things that have this type of software, that's going to go away soon. So you got to have a backup. Now that's not really what I want to talk about today, but I did anyway. One of the trade setups that people seem to be liking the most is this one right here, guys. When it's going down into the oversold where you have the right color, and you can just buy the open of the next bar. All right, buy the open of the next bar and take some profit. I just took a couple ticks profit on that one. This was supposed to be 133, wasn't it? No, 130. Where did I do that? It was right here. Yeah. Anyway, I think I accidentally moved that. Oh no, that's the current line. I drew a line on there somewhere, didn't I? I thought I drew a line on there. Oh, I erased it. That's right. It's up here. 133 is where that was. I remember now. I erased all my drawings, and that was one of them. All right. You can do it when it comes out of oversold. That's what I was saying, Jimmy. I'm not Jimmy. That's what I was saying, Wayne. You have the option, depending on whether you're trending or not. If you're not trending and you're in chop, then going into when you're in a choppy situation like this, when it's going into the overbought or into the oversold, that's the time to enter. If you're in a trend like this over here, then coming out of the overbought or out of the oversold is the time to enter. Okay, if you have a nice trend like that and it pulls back and it's gonna, it's making another leg. So the question then is, how do you know you're in a trend? All right. Well, in this this price action that you see right here, you can tell that you're not in a trend, right? Once you get to this point right here, you can tell you're not in a trend. So at this point, if it goes into the oversold, you buy the next bar. Okay, if it goes into the oversold, you buy the next bar. And then when it fails to put in a higher swing, you know you're still not in a trend, right? So it goes into the oversold, you buy the next bar. It fails to put in a higher swing, you still know you're not in a trend. Doesn't put in a lower swing, you still know you're not in a trend. Goes in the overbought, you sell the next bar. If it fails to put in a lower swing, you still know you're not in a trend. In this case right here, it did put in a little bit lower swing, so you wait till it comes out of the overbought. All right? You see that? It's as simple as that. I mean, you can make it complicated if you want to, but you don't have to. You can add indicators, you can do all kinds of things if you want to. But you don't have to. This stuff is, I mean, it's really easy. That thing that I brought up a few minutes ago, this one, I think this one, I think that was yesterday. And I really did do that yesterday. Today wasn't as good, but it It was still good. It just wasn't as good. So, you know, it doesn't get too much easier than this. I mean, I'm going to make it easier. I will. I'll make it easier. But the way I'm going to make it easier is to get rid of these flat spots. All right. And I did create something that got rid of the flat spots, but it made everything one bar behind, and that I just couldn't deal with. But it did absolutely get rid of the flat spots. It sensed when it was getting near the overbought or getting near the oversold, and it just wouldn't print anything. When it was going to go into the overbought or oversold on the next bar, it wouldn't print anything, so you wouldn't be given that false signal. And then when it was ready to, it would go. And it was all right. Yesterday I traded 10 contracts all day. All day. That's what I decided this year, Larry. You know, in 2023, I did the 24/20 blueprint. I started with one contract, and I added one contract for every $2,000, working my way up to 20 contracts. And I did that over 20 months. And in August of last year, I was at 20 contracts. And then after August, when I got to September, I just went to 9 contracts, and I worked my way up one contract a month until the end of the year, where I was at 12 contracts. But I decided this year I'm just going to start with 10 and stay with 10 flat all year. So I'm just going to stay with 10 contracts all year long. That's my plan this year. So, and the results this year are going to be, when you look at this, if we go back, this was the end of last year, right? So I started with 13 contracts at the beginning of the year, and I went to 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And if you started with 1, then that's the 24/20 blueprint. If you quit trading when you get the goal for the day, at the end of the year last year, starting with 13, this is how I ended up at the end of the year last year. But this year, I'm going to start with 10 and stay with 10 all year. Okay, and it's going to be much better because now this divergence trade setup that I'm doing allows me to trade counter trend in with the trend, and it actually trades great in chop. So that is an advantage that we've never had. Being able to trade in chop, that's an advantage that we have never had. And and so I'm taking advantage of that a lot this year. And I mean, you can see already this year I'm up $200,000 with 10 contracts. And what is it? We're not even done the first month. So it's going to be a good year. I am confident. I'm knocking on wood. It's my grandma's 103rd birthday today. And I don't know if she's going to make it to 104. but I hope she does. I don't know. Let's see. I'm knocking on wood. It's going to be a good year. I have a prop account, but I don't know how to use it. It's a Top Step one, and I only got it to see if I could put my stuff on the Top Step account. Gordon, so no, this is all live. Can I explain why I would wait for price to exit the overbought? Okay, let me show you that again, Gary. If you're in a trend, that means if you get into a trade, or if you, let's look at this right here, for instance, okay? We went long right here, right, a few minutes ago, and we ended up getting a couple of ticks in profit. It did not put in a higher swing, so it's not in a trend. All right, so the next one, right here, where it goes into the oversold, you would buy the open of the next bar, right? You wouldn't wait for it to come out because it's not in a trend. But if it did put in a higher swing, then you might consider waiting until it comes out of the overbought or oversold, because then you're probably in a trend. All right, like over here, when it was going up like this. Your first one was right here, so you're kind of in a trend. You got this big leg up, and you're in a trend, so you're thinking, okay, we're in a trend. So you're buying the open of this bar, right? The open of the next bar, actually, this open right here. That probably would have stopped you out with a 10 tick stop. That probably would have stopped you out, but it did put in a higher swing. So on this one, you're not going to buy the open of the next bar, right? Because this put in a higher swing. You see, when it's going up like this, when it's trending, let me show you again. When it's trending, it's going up and down, and then it's going to go up again and exceed the prior swing high like that. All right. When it's trending, that's what it's doing. So when it's trending, you want to wait until it comes out of the oversold. I mean, that's up to you. You don't have to. I mean, it does well without that. It does just fine without that. But this is doing it without the divergence, okay? That specific trade between 11 and 11:10, I said I would wait. Between 11 and 11:10. Over here, I said I would wait. They put in a little bit lower swing right here, is all I was thinking, Gary. Because right here, you see right there was a swing low, and so put in a little bit lower swing. So when it pulled back up, instead of selling the open of this bar as soon as it went into the overbought, you could wait until it comes out of the overbought right here. Okay, either way it would have worked out, I think. It would have been really close to stopping you out, though. You see what I mean? You know, the markets are always doing the same thing, and now we have a tool to take advantage of it no matter what it does. But you know, trading in the chop is something that I never thought I'd look forward to, but I do now. I really do. It's you know, James was just texting me. I don't know, is he in there? James B. He was just texting me about one trade he just took on the NQ where he just made 10 points on the NQ. And it's right in the middle of chop, and he took 3 other ones, he said, in chop that were all successful trades. So it's like a total different playing field. You can see what you should be doing, and you have the tools to do what you need to do. And you know, I'm doing it with futures right here. I'm doing it with the ES and futures because it's nice and slow. But you could do it with anything. You know, and what we've done here so far, we took one profitable trade right there, and right here, if you bought the open of this bar, you would have had profit on that one too. Now, if this puts in a higher swing, then we'll look to get out of the overbought on the next one. Okay, but if it doesn't put in a higher swing and it goes back into the oversold, we'll look for buying just the open of the next bar when it goes into the oversold. Okay. I actually named next week's webinar trend or counter trend. So we'll get into this in a lot more detail next week, but did I say I wouldn't take second long again in the uptrend? The second long in here, you mean? Right here or over here? Which one are you talking about? Which time? Just tell me which time. The 1500 or the 1130? The first blue section, this one. No, I mean this one right here might have stopped you out. Then it put in a higher swing, and I would still take the trade here. It's just what I was saying is you might not want to buy it when it goes into the oversold. You might want to wait until it comes out of the oversold because it put in a higher swing, because it got higher than that level right there. So you're in a little bit of a trend, so you might want to wait until it comes out of the oversold. Okay, that's what I circled down there. I slide it over here so those arrows aren't on top of it. That's why I circled that down there. Because this put in a higher swing than this one right here, you could have bought the open of this bar right here. It would have been the open of this bar right here when it went into the oversold, and that probably would have stopped you out right there. But once this put in a higher swing, it established a trend for you. Okay? Yes, Larry, it is. It is. Now, this is all being recorded. And let me just say, for anybody that's just getting in here right now, because a lot of people showed up here a little bit late, for anybody that's just getting in here right now, if you haven't taken a free trial, I mean, most of you have. A lot of you guys are already subscribed. But if you haven't, go here to Target View Trades. Click on any of these these orange buttons. It's going to be down to the bottom and all the way down to the bottom. I'll just do this. It's easier than scrolling. All the way down at the bottom is $25 a week, or $90 a month, or $97 a year. You can start with one and upgrade to any one of the ones. Most of the people are doing the monthly right now, but the weekly and the yearly are actually getting pretty close together. It's kind of funny. I mean, a lot of people go with the weekly and then they upgrade. But on the chart-free trading stuff, if you don't have charts, then you can do the chart-free trading stuff, and that would get you, whether you do chart-free trading or not, you get access to the trade table. And that is, I'm trying to bring it over and show it to you. Here it is. This is the trade table right here, right, where signals are put out all day long. All day long they're generated. And there was you see, I don't have anything in here for swing trades yet. When I do get the swing trade thing complete, I thought I had a pretty good handle on it today, but then I put it together and I'll show you what happened. Um, but there'll be one in here for the swing trades as well. So if you just want to do swing trades, you can come in here and look at the swing trades. You don't have to have charts for that either. All right, and that'll be pretty handy to you guys that really don't want to look at charts all day. But how am I able to change to different intervals for range chart? You're not able to use, get that message, change chart isn't a range chart when you try to use minutes. Okay, that's because you're on the range sniper, I think. Kurt, the range sniper actually checks for a range bar because the sniper doesn't work as well when it's not on there. It is not the same. No, though I am the same person, Larry, it is not the same. Though in that one you do see the range trigger, but the range trigger in there is limited. Okay, in there, like right here, if you just put a regular range trigger down here at the bottom, and I put a range trigger like that, that's the range trigger that they have in there. Okay, in here you get to have all these other features. You have the colors in here, you have bar colors up here, you have access to other stuff like that, and you can trade it like that, and I often will trade it like this. Okay, using the snipe with the divergence like that. That works out pretty well most of the time too. But Larry, so it's not the same. It's two separate rooms, yeah. This is TV trades, and this is just me and Jada. And CFRN is me, Dwayne, Valerie, Bert, all that stuff. Okay, different things. So in here, well, when you're a TV trades subscriber, you get access to all the stuff. Everything that I'm showing you, you get access to. Okay. But back here now. Let's go back here. Somebody told me once, don't answer the questions until the end, because they get all over the place when I do. But let's just look at it. All right. So I want to go back. How am I able to change? Kurt had asked. To change them, you have to create your own symbols by default. The range bars, depending what level you're getting, Kurt. If you have essential or above, you are able to do custom range bars, or custom intervals is what they call it. All you have to do is go here, click on that, do add custom interval. All right, and in here you can do a minute, a range, month, week, day, hour, all that stuff. Okay, like if I want to do a different range bar, I have pretty much all the range bars. Let's say I want to do a 342 range bar. I can add it, right, and then it shows up right here. It's in my 342. I just click on it, and that makes it a 342 range, right? Same stuff still works with a 342. It gets into the oversold, you're going to want to buy the open of the next bar. It's into the oversold, you're going to want to buy the open of the next bar. It's into the oversold. Well, did you have a trend? You did get higher than the prior swing, so you're going to wait till you come out of the oversold and buy the open of the next bar. All right, so all the same stuff works. Let's go back there, Gordon. And did you catch that, Kurt? I just want to make sure you caught it. And the other thing that you were asking, if you have the sniper on here, and you try to go to a minute bar with the sniper on there, or any kind of thing, it's going to say this is not a range bar, right there. I did that on purpose, right? And you can still use it, but you're going to have that thing on there. I don't know if you can manually shut that off. You might be able to shut that off. Labels, I think. Tables, labels. Yeah, you can shut that off if you want to. It's right here, right? But I put that there to make you aware that using the range sniper, not on a range bar. It still works, it's not as accurate. Okay. Alright. Let me go back here. Gordon, you had asked, at 11:10 on my range chart, is that a valid short? 11:10. Yeah, it is. Oh, right here. Right here is what you're asking. Right here. 11:13, 11:12, 11:10. The short was the original short. You would have either sold the open of this bar right here, Or because you got a lower swing, that's what I was explaining a few minutes ago. Because you got a lower swing, you might have wanted to wait until you got out of the overbought right there, right where it came down. You might have wanted to wait for that down close right there and sold the open of that bar. Okay, that's what I was saying. Right? The range sniper signals are different than the range trigger setups. Yes. Yes, they are. The range sniper signals, there's a lot of things that the range sniper has that can help you. Like if you do the snipe alert notice, then that's going to let you know. Usually it's going to let you know when you're going into the overbought or oversold. Okay? It's going to give you an arrow telling you what direction you should be thinking when it goes into the overbought or the oversold. Okay? But it doesn't really... I don't remember if I made it pay attention to the color in the background. I think I might have made it pay attention to the color in the background. But, yes. Alright. Now, you just set range sniper signal. And I set the range sniper signal to that 1110 short. Your chart doesn't slow the price bars when you change to minutes. You deleted the sniper and the range trigger. Well, if I gave them to you, you can't delete them. You can't get them out of your invite only section. You can delete them from here, but you can't delete them from here. Right? Like I want to get rid of that thing, and I can't. I even called them and told them to get rid of it, and they won't. But so you just have to add them on there again, Kurt. Okay, or you can just take this right here. I'll copy this and I'll stick it out here. Paste there. You can just take that. That's going to give you a read-only copy. If you click on that link, give you a read-only copy. It'll say the word copy in the upper right-hand corner here. Just click on that, and it'll prompt you to change the name of it. Okay. All right. So I just gave you that back. Who am I using for a broker for the actual trades? I use StoneX. Okay, and scrolling through. When it comes out of the oversold or overbought, the line shoots to the next level really fast. Would that still be a valid trade? It takes 2 bars for it to go from one to the other. All right, for it to go from the overbought down to the oversold, it takes 2 bars, minimum 2 bars. All right. So if it's down here when you're thinking about entering, it is too late. Okay. If you're going to enter when it comes out of the overbought, the oversold, then you're going to be entering when it's halfway there. And there's a trade set up for that. If you look inside the sniper and you turn on the aggressive sniper, let's show off that. We'll turn on the aggressive sniper. Right, get rid of the sniping trades and just turn on the aggressive sniper. There it is. Now that looks for it to be halfway through and to finish the rest of the way through. That's what the aggressive sniper does. Right, but no, there's what I'm showing you here. When you're actually looking at this, the aggressive sniper and all those little arrows and all that stuff was created with, so you don't have to look at the chart. You don't really have to think about it. You don't have to look at the chart. And there are alerts for all of that stuff. You know, in here, if you go up, in here we look at the sniper. Inside the sniper, there are aggressive sniper short, aggressive sniper long. There's a sniper long, sniper short. Next up close, next down close. So it lets you know when there's a trade coming up. All right. So there's actually alerts that you can set for that. I guess I should show you how to set an alert, huh? Lost the bars on the chart when you tried to change to ESH 2025. Double left click over here on price. Double left click on price, David. Okay. So let me just show you how to set an alert. And then I said I was going to touch on a couple of things. NF. Oh, Tesla. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla. I think that's what I want to look at. I don't know. Let me go and see. There was something that I was going to look at in here. Hang on. It's in here, and I think it was one of these. I think it was a Tesla buy right in here somewhere. Was it Tesla or Netflix? I think it was Tesla I was looking at. Anyway, what I was going to show you about this, when you get these signals, whether you have charts or don't have charts, if you get these signals, these are for short-term options. If you want to, well, you can actually trade. You can trade the security as well if you just want to make a couple bucks on the security. But they're also for short-term options. So if you want to buy something and you're anticipating that it's going to get to the target, usually from the time that it triggers, like this one right here, to the time that it gets to the target, it's just going to be a 20 or 30% in the option price. All right. I know I had brought something up so I could show you that. And that's part of the other thing that I wanted to go over today, which was the swing trade stuff. So, the swing trade, this is the way I want it to be. I want to give you a symbol, a time frame, the time that I did it, the current price with a target and a stop. All right. Now you can see in here, this was when I was testing, and they didn't all come out exactly right. The targets and stops sometimes were in the wrong place and stuff like that. But then I redid everything, and I started it up again this morning, and it pumped out all of these, but it didn't give you all the information. So I'm still working on it. The swing trade thing is going to be, it's going to be something that I think you're going to enjoy if you want to trade equities, or if you want to trade futures. I mean, if you want to trade options on equities, because these are going to be like, they're going to be bigger. For the most part, they're going to be bigger ranges than this. There probably might even be 30-minute charts or even daily charts for some of them. Like I do have one on Bitcoin that's on a daily chart. Now you might only see one of those a month, but when it comes out, you'll know. Right? This is the swing trade channel. That some of you guys, well, you guys will have access to that. If you're subscribed, you'll have access to the swing trade channel too. And the thing about these things in Telegram, there's 72 alerts, 71 alerts issued today. But the thing about these things in Telegram is you can make this give you an alert on your phone. So, if you want to get an alert on your phone, you can just turn it on your phone to get notifications, and you can just take a look whenever it comes up and see if it's one of the things you're interested in. And if it is, you can place a trade. The thing I want to show you about the swing trade stuff, this list of stocks that I have right here, that was from one of the subscribers that was also a CFRN Trading IQ guy. He just gave me a list of things that he likes to trade. If you have something that you want to get swing trades on, you just have to tell me what it is and tell me what time frame you're thinking about, and I can put it in there so you'll have an automated swing trade for that. All right, ETFs, yeah, Hal, you can do ETFs too. I have right in here. Hang on, let me bring this back over, Hal. I have ETFs right here. Well, this is stocks and ETFs. So in here, well, it doesn't look like it's given any not giving any shorts today. But if we go to the next one, and a little arrow over here. I don't see a lot of ETF action here right now. Yeah, I only have 100 rows in here. But it doesn't look like I gave any ETF calls today. But it does have just ETFs. It's got futures long, futures short, stocks and ETFs, calls, stocks and ETFs, puts. I said that backwards. But if you're looking, if the market's bullish, really bullish, and you're only interested in long trades, just look at the calls. Look at the buys. And I don't know why it's not giving any ETFs in here right now. I have to go and look. Maybe I shut them off by accident. It'll be over here. Alerts, and all those are shut off. Bitcoin. QQQ's right there. That's on, and it hasn't given any apparently. SPY, IWM, QQQ. They're all in there and they're all active. They're just not triggering any trades right now. But you can see Tesla Now Tesla gave a long trade. This is a 7 range. This isn't going to work for Tesla. I think the Tesla that we're looking at was on a 50 range, right? Bring that back over here. Oh look, it was here, and Tesla was on a 50 range, yeah. And so Tesla had a long. I think. Well, I can tell you where it was. We put this on, and we show arrow for buying opportunities, and we'll shut the sniper off for a second. The last long that Tesla had, it was this one back here, I think. Somewhere in here was the long. Something like that. But anyway, what I want to show you is, there was at one point today the Tesla or the Netflix one had a long, and I had brought out one thing. I gotta find it. I didn't want to do this. I was gonna get stuff all lost on this other screen, and I managed to do it anyway. Here it is. I guess it was Tesla. I'm trying to bring it over. Alright, so Tesla had given a long down here. This is an option for Tesla. And given a long down here with the option price was at 8.5. And, in a couple of minutes, it went up to about 9.5. So that's not a ton. That's like 16%. But it was only a little bit before it went up 16% right there. It said invalid invite or expired. The swing trade link in there said that? I'll have to check that, Gordon. Okay, I'll have to check that. I'm not sure. And I'm including futures for the options trades. Well, you can do options on futures if you want to, but I don't put them out there. Let me make a note of that, Gordon. I'll check on that, because you're the only one to tell me that, but it doesn't mean it's not happening. Telegram link for swing trades. Okay, thank you. Alright, so I wanted to cover the option thing really quick. I wanted to cover in more detail, but maybe next week I'll get into more detail when I have the swing trade thing actually working. And I want to go over this stuff with you, and I want to go over the trend and no trend. We'll go into that in a lot more detail next week too. We're running out of time. We only have 12 minutes left, and this always happens. But does anybody have any question that I haven't answered? I mean, most everybody in here is already a subscriber. Almost everybody in here is already a subscriber. So this is what it looks like when you get a signal on your Telegram, and pops up over here on my chart. You can have it do. You can set these things up so they actually program from your chart. That's why I created the alert, so you guys can create your own alerts if you want to. But the ones that you see pop up over here, those are the ones that are going into Telegram. And the ones that I have over here are the ones that are programmed on my actual chart, like all of these guys right here. Now, ETFs, how? If you look at SPY, for instance. Now, SPY is a $600 item, so you're not going to look at it on a 50 range. You might want to put that on 100, so every bar is $1, or maybe even bigger than that. So every bar is like, $2.50 or $5. $5 there. But you're doing the same thing, right? You're doing the same thing. Now, if we put the TV trades back on here, when you have a long opportunity, the background is blue, you get into the oversold, you're looking to go long. Right? Background is red, you get into the overbought, you're looking to go short. It's the same stuff. Every bar is $5. If you have it on that, every bar is $2.50. If you put it on a $2.50 range, every bar is $2.50. Okay? So it's all the same stuff. Again and again and again. Seems the tradable has to be refreshed manually. Trade table. Yeah, I don't think I have it set to refresh, but I don't know how well that works, Gordon. I'm talking about the trade table page. I don't know how well that works. I know the stuff that's in Telegram, it always gets put. No, it's real time in Telegram. To restate, the price bar goes higher than is in the trend, so wait until bar goes out of the overbought before entering sell. Okay, let's go back to what we were talking about. And it was on the ES. Okay. What I just did there put me in the ES1. I want to point that out too because there's some of you guys had some problems with that. If you're on the ES1 exclamation point, that's not exactly the same as the ESH 2025. It's not exactly the same. Okay. So, to restate, if a price bar goes higher than it is in a trend, so wait until the bar goes out of overbought for entering buy, not sell. Not sell there. Okay, so like right here, if it goes higher than the prior swing high and it pulls back, then wait till it comes out before you take your next trade. Okay. Kurt, did double F clicking over there fix it for you? Because it probably just got out of scope off the screen. Alright, so the things that I wanted to cover. I want to cover this. Now let me just go over the other trade setups really quick, okay? This is just having a TV trades range trigger on here. Now I have it set so it shows the colors. Whether you want to have the colors or not want to have the colors, it's up to you. I made the conservative bars. So with the conservative bars, you know, if you have a red bar, you can sell the next bar. If you have a green bar, you can buy the next bar. That's the idea behind the conservative colors. Alright. If you take the conservative bars off, then it's the same idea. If you have a red bar, you sell the next bar. If you have a green bar, you buy the next bar. It's the same idea. It's just you have a lot more of them, and they're going trend, counter trend, trend, counter trend, trend, counter trend. It's up to you whether you want to use that or not. The other setups, let's just go into them really quick. In here, now we'll just get rid of the bar color for right now and just go back to regular bars, okay? Red and blue. We'll also get rid of the TV trades. Okay. So the other setup is this. You have that and that. And when you do this, this drops down. It should drop down. You got to change it to 65. Okay. Change these to 65 if you can do this divergence trade right here. Change that to 65. What the heck? Oh, okay. With this one, you just look for separation between here and here. Alright. You get that, you'd sell the open of the next bar. You get that, you sell the open of the next bar. You get that, you sell the open of the next bar. You get this, you buy the open of the next bar. Actually, this right here, you buy the open of the next bar. This right here, you'd sell the open of the next bar. Okay? When it goes into the overbought or goes into the oversold, and you have divergence, you're buying or selling the open of the next bar. Excuse me. Okay? Daryl, did that make sense to you, what I said? I just want to make sure that you understood it. Because you had said sell, not buy. Okay. But that's this setup, okay? The divergence setup. And what I do in the morning looks more like this. You know those numbers that I brought over, the $30,000 and all that stuff? See, Netflix and Amazon triggering right now. One of the things, guys, you'll note, if you get something like this at the end of the day, like right around 3:55, usually by the morning, if you take action on that with an option, usually by the next morning, those options have really increased in price. You know, at the open of the next day, if you get a trigger like that at the end of the day, you know, if you mark those right now, the TradingView Telegram bot says Amazon time frame. These are what it just said right here. The Netflix had a buy at 15:54, a call at 9:54:36, and the Amazon also had one right here. Same. Well, they all had all three of these right here. Well, all those right there. Netflix is obviously doing something because it went from 954.13. The next one was at 954.36. So it's moving. Um, but if you get these at the end of the day and you say you buy a call option and any of those that said buy, by the next morning that call option is usually significantly different, usually significantly better, significantly being 50% or so, usually. Sometimes 100, 200%. Just want to point that out to you when you get those things at the end of the day. In here, I was going through all these trade setups, right? You have the divergence one. Now, one that I like to do is this one right here. Okay, this is divergence with the snipe instead of the div line. Okay, and the one that I do in the morning, that you guys that are with me in the morning, is more like this. Right? If this were blue and this were black, that's more like the thing that I do in the morning. Okay. But the simplest thing, just do that. Do that with that, and you can get a good idea of what's coming. You can get a good idea of when you should be looking for it to go into the oversold and when you should be looking for it to come out of the oversold. When you should be looking for it to go into the overbought, when you should be looking for it to come out of the overbought. All that stuff. All right. It's 3:57. I have 3 minutes left. If you haven't taken a free trial, and I think most of you guys have, I'll just say it again anyway. Go to tvtrades.com. Click on the purple thing, and the purple thing. Why do I keep calling that purple? Click on the orange thing, and it'll bring you down to the trial. All right, it's really a simple process. All right, and I know some of you guys, like Hovig, I know you've taken the trial a couple of times. You can take it again if you want to. I am working on stuff really to eliminate these flat spots. If I could eliminate those flat spots, then that would be golden. But I had something the other day. It looked perfect at night, but then when I put it into action, if it was gonna go into a flat spot, it would just stop printing. So it'd be like down here, and then it would see it was gonna go here, and then it would see the next bar was gonna be a flat spot, so it wouldn't do it. So it wouldn't print anything for like 3 or 4 bars. If it was gonna be a flat spot that was this long, it would go from here over to here. It'd just shoot all the way over to there. It wouldn't print anything for all these bars in between. It's interesting, but alright, because this stuff, this is easy. I'm making more money with this than I've ever made with anything, and this is really, really easy. And those of you guys that know me, they've been around me for 10, 15 years. I'm always trying to make things easier and better. Again, I gotta say this. If you have something that's working, Dave J, are you in here? Yes, you're in here. If you have something that's working, then you can ignore all this stuff. Alright? You don't need to change anything. If you have something that works for you consistently day after day after day, then just keep doing that. But if you're new, then this is really easy to learn. If you're not having consistent progress in your trading, then this is really easy to learn and do. Okay. How do you get the current chart to look like mine right now? Well, here, I'll save it. And that link that I put in a few minutes ago, Jimmy, you can just use that link. I think it's on my clipboard. I can probably just paste it again. Yeah, it is right there. Just click that link and you'll have it. Okay, well this is great in chop. This is actually better in chop than it is in a trending market. I just posted it. You should have it in the question box right now. You should be able to somewhere here to be able to see that. Where I submitted my question. Can you guys see that? I thought you guys could see what I type in. It said my question. Oh, it says my question will be sent to the staff. I guess you can't see that, can you? All right, hang on, I'll tell you what, you guys. I'll stick it in the email, the follow-up email that goes out here. I'll show you. Add text. It's not gonna let me paste it in there. I was gonna try to paste it right on there for you, but it won't let me. In the follow-up email that goes out and go to webinar, I'll put the link in there so you guys all have it. Okay. Good Webinar sends out a follow-up email at the end of the webinar. And so everybody will get that in 2 hours. That email goes out. It's timed. It goes out in 2 hours. It'll have a link to the recording of this one. It'll have a link to the layout of this one that I'm using right here. It'll have a link to next week's, and I don't know, it might have something else in there too. Okay. Once you sign up, are there instructions documents that give you concise directions? Concise directions. There's a bunch of videos, and then you can just ask me questions. All right, Corel. There's, if you go out to YouTube, if we go out here to youtube.com and look at my channel, this will all be in the email. Once you sign up, there's an email that, this is not the right YouTube. Hang on, let me close that. Here, this is the right YouTube. Hang on, here it is. This is the right YouTube. There's videos in here. I've made, 76 videos. But you can go in here and see a whole bunch of different things. Like this one will be in here later. Today this one will be in here in an hour, so this will be here at the top. You can go in here and see things, and there's usually stuff in there. But if you have questions, if you have direct questions, just ask me. Send me an email. I'll send it to support at targetviewtrades.com. Really had to think that through. Support at targetviewtrades.com. All right, send it to me there, and I try to answer everybody's questions all the time, to the best of my ability. And I could even make. All right, sounds good, Hovig. When a stop out occurs, is it safe to re-enter? That's a fair question. What I like to see, Daryl, is when you come out of the overbought or oversold, I'd like to see it make the whole cycle, go all the way to the next level before you get back in. Right, go from the overbought to the oversold, or the oversold to the overbought, and then come back and then give another one before I get back in. Okay, that's what I'd like to see. And your trading view, you don't see by invitation. How do you find TV trades? I have to enable it for you. Girl, when you sign up, like there's part of the process when you sign up is let's see our chart. Part of the process when you sign up is give me your trading view ID. When you give me your trading view ID, you will then have an invite only section. Okay? If you don't have any invite only indicators right now, then you won't have that section. But when you give me your ID, that section will appear. Okay? What are the hours of the trading room? In here, I don't have a TV Trades trading room. The one in the morning that you're signed up for right now, the trial you're signed up for right now, Larry, is 9:30 to 11:30. That room that you signed up for yesterday. Okay, what is the setting to get the red green on the range trigger? That, well, you just have to put the password in, Gordon. When you put the password in, like right here, I'll show you. If I make this the wrong password, then the red and green goes away. You see? If you put the right password in, then it gives you the red and green there, and it gives you on the bars too. If you click conservative, and that's by default, conservative is on by default, then it only does some of the red and green. It doesn't do all the red and green. It only does the red and green where it's actually in the red and green area. Then we have the blue background to go with it, or the red background to go with it. Okay. What I'm repeating, where you can send questions. Support at targetviewtrades.com. Support at targetviewtrades.com. You can send any questions there. Okay. But So that's on. It's on by default, but it's on conservative by default when you put the password in. If you want to take those off, if you want to get rid of the bar colors, it's right in here. You just. Oops, I'm sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. You go down here and shut the bar colors off down here. Okay, it's right there. Now go back to just red and blue bars. Okay. All right. Well, it's 4:06, guys. I ran over a little bit. Let me stop the recording right now, but we can talk some more. Let me just stop the recording because